Alright, today's video, I'm covering the tomato varieties I'm growing by seed this year. This is a good time of year for people to start buying their seeds, so I want to get these videos out, and I'm going to make a few other videos as well of other plants I'm growing. But I'm going to try to keep the videos fairly, not too long, and not wasting much time, so I'm just going to focus on tomatoes. Now, I do have a couple previous videos where I covered some of my tomatoes during the summer. I actually show the plants themselves and have a little discussion about each little plant. I also did a video of cutting open some different tomatoes and stuff, so you can check those videos out if you want. I'm going to cover in this video what I think about these tomatoes. Are they open pollinated, meaning can you save the seeds from them? Are they hybrid, meaning you would have to purchase the seeds once you run out? And I'm not going to try to spend too much time on any particular variety. We got the first ones here I'm going to cover is the Black Beauty. I have been growing this one longer than any of them. It is a open pollinated. It is known as the darkest tomato there is. Very dark color. Now at the bottom of it, how do you know it's right? The bottom of it is green, and it does get a red color to it when it's ripe. Only negative thing I can say about these, if it rains a lot when they're close to being ripe, they are prone to splitting on the bottom. But other than that, really no issues. They actually perform really well, especially for something that is not a hybrid. It's an heirloom, and it's just really good flavor. It's just something very different. Have this dark skinned, and then the inside as well is fairly dark as well, almost like a reddish mix with purple in the inside. Definitely check that one out. And I have, I've saved the seeds from that one. So I saved some seeds from it from last year. They are a little more pricey. Some tomatoes you can get for like $3 a pack. These run about $5+. They are very desired. Another one we have here is the Great White Tomato. Also open pollinated. Save the seeds. Large. Can easily get crossing the 1 pound mark is not difficult at all, and it's pretty realistic. You could probably prune the plant, right fertilizer, right environment, 2 pounds on a tomato. They grow really big tomatoes. They're white with kind of like a warmish yellow a little bit, but pretty much completely white. As well on the inside, they have a light flavor. It's just something cool to grow, and one thing negative I can say, and I think this applies to pretty much all large, at least open pollinated, non-hybrid beefsteak tomatoes. If you pick them right, they have very short shelf life. They really like to break down quick and get soft spots on them. Kellogg's Breakfast, open pollinated, been around for quite some time as an orange tomato, also a beefsteak, performs really well. I do live in Zone 7B, central part of North Carolina, so I do have to have hot, humid, muggy summers, prone to a lot of disease. We get a lot of rain. And these actually did really well. Last year's my first year growing these. Definitely going to keep it. My wife actually liked to make tomato soup with these. And maybe it's because maybe a pectin content, I'm not sure, but they seem to break down and produce like a creamy base pretty well. Really like these. Great tomato to grow, and are starting to make a comeback. Been around for a long time. And these are replacing what I used to grow, orange tomato, which is not bad, by the way. I just think the Kellogg's Breakfast is better, is Dad's Sunset. Not a bad tomato at all. A little bit smaller than the Kellogg's Breakfast, but overall the Kellogg's Breakfast did a lot better. And versus the Dad's Sunset, always seemed like it was kind of struggling. But that's probably due to my environment, not ideal, the hot, humid for tomatoes. Another variety we have, open pollinated, Genoveae tomato. These are kind of rough on the outside. You can kind of see in this picture their shape, but they're very veiny on the outside, deep. They're, have a good amount of flesh in the inside. They're not too watery. It's an classic Italian tomato, been around for a long time. People love making pastas and sauces with them. But to me, you can use any tomato you want to make pasta sauce or soup. There's no rules. You don't need a special tomato for that. But these have a strong flavor to them, and definitely do help to add it to other things. Of course, you can put these on the sandwich too. They're just going to cut a little bit differently because they're not a smooth tomato. And I just saved some seeds from that one from last year. Let's see. Let's go over, I think, our last open pollinated variety, Napa Chardonnay, Napa cherry tomato. These have like a lot. It's a very great cherry tomato. The flavor is excellent. for people who like, I don't really like tomatoes, they're okay. This is one to grow, put it on salads, whatever. Very productive plants. They have a light yellowish tint to them with a little bit of a bronze color to them when they ripen. Skin is so thin, if you hold it up in the light on a bright day when they're ripe, it's almost translucent. You can literally like see into the tomato. Very thin skin, just nothing but like put it in your mouth. It's almost just like a juice bomb. I mean, just a lot of flavor, a lot of juice in them. Let's grow, see a tomato, probably not, nope, let's go with another one here. This is tomato I have not grown. This is Jolene. It is a hybrid. It's a determinate tomato. Jolene is a red. It's not large, extra large, 8 to 10 ounces. It replaces a tomato, I believe it's called Grand Marshal. This tomato is bred for the hot south, for the southeast. It's designed to deal with the humidity and the heat. It has a lot of disease resistance. One of the issues that tomatoes have with heat, once it's over 90 degrees, tomatoes really do not want to set fruit. They do not want that blossom, does not want this thing. It's just too hot. Tomatoes like, nah, I'm not doing this. That tomato is bred and designed to be able to set fruit in high temperatures, deal with the humidity, and deal with the heat and all the bad things that brings, the funguses and the disease. So it's a brand new one. It's replacing a previous one. So I'm really hoping it does really well, because I am looking for a reliable, just basic red tomato, productive plant that is going to be able to go through the summer and not get diseased. Another one I really like, which is a hybrid, and this already has an improved version of it, and this is the Lemon Boy. The Lemon Boy is a yellow tomato, as the name implies, Lemon Boy. It's yellow, perfectly round, medium to large size tomato. The plant was very productive. It set very consistent fruit quality. The size was very consistent. The quality of the tomatoes were very consistent. By far had the best shelf life. It's a firmer tomato. It stores really well on the counter. Flavor was good. Very pretty, especially early on before it got too hot. It's nice, bright, consistent yellow color. They do already have a Lemon Boy Plus, which is an improved version of this one. Once I run out of seeds from this batch, I will eventually try the new Lemon Boy Plus, which is supposed to be even a better version, more disease resistant and better flavor. But it's a great one to grow. And then just a couple of varieties I'm not going to grow again. This was I got these for free. I didn't pay for these. It's an early doll tomato. So red hybrid small tomato. It's one of these tomatoes that's supposed to set earlier, develop to ripeness earlier than a lot of tomatoes. And during those tomatoes, the flavor is not as good. And the early doll is supposed to, be an exception to that. Well, the thing was, it didn't set fruit earlier than any of my other tomatoes, and it just really wasn't that great of a tomato. To me, it's just not worth growing and taking up space in my garden. A couple other varieties I'm not interested in growing, even though I thought the flavor is great, and that's green tomatoes when they're ripe. I'm not talking about like a fried green tomato. I'm talking about tomatoes that when they're ripe, they're green. They typically get like a little bit of a yellowish tint to them when they're ripe. The flavor of green tomatoes is excellent. They have more bite to them, a little more sharpness to them, citrusy, this really bright flavor. The green zebra was one of my favorite tomatoes, but year after year, it was just depressing of how diseased the plant would get, and basically tomatoes would just ripen on it, and it was just pitiful looking plant. And I also tried doing, I think it was the green Chef Choice tomato. That was even more disappointing, and it wasn't as good. So if you want to try it, try the green zebra. Awesome tomato. Just really disease prone in my area, but if you're in an area where it's not hot and humid, Midwest, Northeast, it may perform great. They're small, 2, 3, 4 ounce fruits. Very pretty. They're striped, as the zebra's name implies. Great flavor. I like to get a lot of my seeds from Baker's Creek, also known as rareseeds.com. Of course, I get my seeds from other places because all they sell are open pollinated / heirlooms. They don't sell any type of hybrids. I do live in a climate where it's, hybrids can be very beneficial. They do have catalogs. Go to the website, they'll send you one for free. This is their whole seed catalog. I buy one every few years. These do cost money. I think it's just like $12 to $15. Free shipping. and you can see how thick it is. And this includes every single seed they carry in their entire catalog. I mean, just to give you an idea of how many pages. I mean, they're really, really pretty artwork. And I really like what they do for the seed community. I think they're really important. I just think they're a good company. They've brought so many seeds to people that all over the world, where they've worked with different people and stuff. I just think they're a good company. But anyway, this wraps up this video on tomatoes. And next time I'm gonna have some other videos covering things like maybe peppers, melon, squash, just those most common things that people grow in the garden. Anyway, till next time, I hope you all have a good day.